There you go. We're having a conversation right now about recruiting, coincidentally. We don't have many of them, to be honest with you. We're going to dig into it just a little bit, okay? Structuring of an annuity. Okay, yeah, I could definitely do that. How do you pronounce your name? I apologize. I don't want to say that. I don't want to mess that one up. I apologize.
Kara.
Say it again.
Takira. It's just TK.
Okay, Takiro. Okay. I might mess that one up a couple times. I apologize if I do. But
I'm used to it.
Yeah, so let me talk a little bit about recruiting the independent agents. My biggest objective when I recruit an independent agent is realizing the fact that these guys are from the industry. So the dream selling, like, you got to kind of throw that out the window. They can read past that like no other. You got to have a real conversation with them. Number one. Number two, I want to make sure that the end goal is that they realize they don't got to close the doors to what they're currently doing in order to sample what we have here at TKO. You don't got to make them feel like, hey, you got to leave all that you're doing. You got to understand, a lot of these independent guys, if you're going after the right ones, they do this full time. To tell somebody, hey, listen, I need you to cut off all ties with what is paying your bills right now and start here with us without really knowing what we bring to the table, that's scary. That's scary. So when I talk to them, I tell them, I go, listen, I want to bring value to your current platform. I want to bring value to your tool belt, right? Right now, you're selling X, Y, and Z products from XYZ company. Well, let me ask you a question. Would these other type of products benefit you? Would these other types of companies benefit you, right? If you could add that to your existing platform without having to burn the bridge where you're currently at, would that make sense? You know, I have that kind of conversation with them. I ask them questions like, let me ask you this question, you know, if you could change anything about your current platform, what would it be? That's a beautiful question for recruiting, because they're now going to expose to you. They're going to expose to you the leaks. They're going to expose to you what they wish they had that they don't have. And if it just so happens to be something that we do have, that's what you're going to hit hard on. That's what you're going to hit hard on. Right? Don't be afraid to ask them, you know, what's your primary companies that you're writing? I'm writing ... and ... And if you don't mind me asking, what are they compensating you for? If we can offer them a higher comp, guys, a lot of times we have a higher comp than most of the people out there. Our comps are traditionally higher than street level. You know what I mean? I mean, Carlos Colon is writing $6.5 million in annuity business, $6.5 million in annuity business himself. He was doing that at a contract level that if I told you guys what it was, you guys would all laugh. When I showed him what we pay on the annuity side, he's like, oh my God, it's no brainer. Hell yeah, let's go. Let's go, right? Now, here's what ends up happening when you become that ancillary to them. I solicit TKO like we are your back office. It's your business. I ask him, like, for example, Jimmy's the one asking this question. Jimmy, are you able to talk if I unmute you? If you unmute yourself?
Yes, I can.
Jimmy, if you could have your own agency, right? You had a business card that you and every single one of your agents had, what in the world would that business card name say? What would be the name of that company?
It was all about insurance, pretty much.
Yeah, but what would be the name? Like, if you had ability to build your own company and it didn't say World Financial Group and it didn't say TKO and it didn't say FFL, what would that company name be? What would your company be?
Legacy Guardians.
Legacy Guardians Insurance Agency, Legacy Guardians Financial, what would it be?
Legacy Guardians LLC.
Okay. That name matters to you, right?
Yes.
Now, how would it feel like if you had 300-400 agents underneath you with business cards that had that same exact company name on there?
Fantastic.
Right? I mean, how would it feel if you got featured in a small business magazine in your community as one of the up and coming new businesses? Pretty good, right?
That'd be fabulous.
And what if that company had a chance one day to become its own FMO, where you could develop your own comp plans, your own pay structure, your own administrative team, your own everything? What would that be like?
That would be the dream right there. That's exactly what I think everybody that came from other IMOs have now a realization that it is possible. That is possible without having to really follow I guess I would say the small thinking platform that they've been selling us.
Correct. And what if you could add other resources in the future if you wanted to, like not just life insurance, but maybe you wanted to add Maybe you want to add credit reparation. Maybe you want to add e-commerce. Maybe you want to add securities. Maybe you want to add property and casualty. Maybe you want to add health. What if you could do that stuff? Is that something you take advantage of?
Absolutely. That is, you and I had this conversation, and that is what attracted me to TKO. The ability to truly be 100% independent and an owner of everything you want to have for your own organization without having to ask anybody if I could.
Correct. Look, the reason I'm saying this, Jimmy, is because look, I know you're writing business right now with this company, and more power to you. I just don't know if you currently are working with a platform that has the systems in place to get you to become your own FMO. There's a lot of companies offering equity, offering partnership, offering this, offering that. But let's be honest, is there anything right now that's offering you an opportunity to one day run your own FMO? Most people will not. They will not let you leave their organization. And that's mainly because they override that organization. But what if there was an actual opportunity where you could actually break out from your organization and become your own FMO by giving you direct access to the largest IMOs in the market space? That's what we bring to the table. That's what we bring to the table. I want you to focus on your company name. I want you to focus on your agency, your model. I want to be your back office. TKO is your back office. And literally by partnering with us, you have a free back office that handles your payroll for you. You have a free back office that handles sales design for you, underwriting for you, risk management for you. Think about this. Let me ask you a question, Jimmy. Okay. If you start to build, do you want to make sure that your agents have access to more resources than just calling you for the answer?
Absolutely.
Do you currently have that now? If you recruited 50 people into your organization right now, do you have a back office resource outside of TKO that your 50 guys could go to without having to call you?
No.
You don't. That's probably hindering your ability to grow. That's the reality. Because there's something that someone taught me a long time ago. They taught me this. They said, if you don't provide tools and resources to your organization, you become the tool. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be treated like a tool. And I don't want anybody to feel like they can't get to the next step because they can't get a hold of me because I happen to take the day and play basketball with my son, or take the day and spend it with my family. I want them to still be able to feel like they're building their organization. Is that what you would want as well?
Yes. Right.
Now pause. You know what I do right now? I'm going to tell you exactly what I do right now. If I'm on a Zoom meeting with them, if I'm in my 9 to 5 hour, right? I'll actually contact my back office. I'll contact UMS, and I'll ask to speak to John Countryman. John's super nice. He works our sales division. Guys, he'll run illustrations for you up and down, left and right. And I'll introduce the prospect to John. Hey, John, listen, this is Steve here. Steve's, a potential agent looking to come on board. I wanted him to just kind of chat with you for a minute because he wanted to see how much resource and how much value there is in partnering with TKO and leveraging someone like yourself, with regards to what you do for us and running illustrations. Can you talk to him for a quick minute about how much benefit you could bring to him and his organization? Sell it, boom. Right? Then jump over and speak to Neelam. Neelam, just so you guys know, you have a case that's high risk where you don't know what company to go to. You don't know because the person has medical issues or whatever. Call Neelam. You know what Neelam will do for you? Neelam will email you a questionnaire specific to the medical condition that your potential client has. All you got to do is get those questions answered. You don't even need to get that form signed because it's not part of any application. It's just get the questions answered. You know what she'll then do for you at zero cost, just because of this partnership? She'll call every single insurance company that we have in our market space, and she'll find out what every single company says about that particular client. She'll then put together an Excel spreadsheet and she'll email it to you. Say, here, Jimmy, I just got back with a report. This is what every company said. This company said no. This company said no. This company said table 3. This company said wait 6 months. This company said yes. Bam. Now you know exactly which company to apply. Like, imagine if your 50 agents you just brought on board have access to those resources. Imagine, right? You know what else I then do? I'll screen share the TKO website. I'll screen share. Look, let me show you this, guys. If you guys aren't taking advantage of this, I think you're shooting yourself in the foot. I did this yesterday with with Baleen. Baleen, do you remember seeing this when I opened up the website and I started running numbers for the client right then and there?
Yes.
Let me show you this. That's the other thing that I do is I provide I want the independent agent to see the resources. All right, nod your head if you guys can see my screen. Yeah, okay, good. So I'll log in right here and be like, look, you recruit 20 guys right now, 40 guys, 50 guys, and they all need to go through contracting. Here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna get a text message. The moment you enroll them in the system, the direct upline is gonna get a text message letting you know, hey, you got a new agent. The new agent is gonna get an email, and in the email is gonna be instructions to go right into this website. And there's gonna be a quick 7-minute video from the owner and founder, Tony Martinez, giving them their 4 things that they need to do right away. 4 things they need to do right away. Download Voxer, get on the group chat. Ask for access into the TKO website. Ask for access into the TKO website, right? Put down on your calendar our schedule, Monday and Saturday training, 1, 2, 3. And the 4th one is begin contracting. And I literally just walk them through in that 7-minute video. But I show them, I go, look, you know how easy it is to go through contracting? You go right here to licensing and contracting. And look what you're gonna find when you go to licensing and contracting. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. Oh, but you know, Jimmy, I don't have my errors and omissions. How can I get that? Well, you go right here. Here's your errors and omissions. And by the way, if you're struggling to figure out what to fill out, what to do, I want you to see this. Look, we provided screenshots with step by step by step by step of everything you need to do in order to get that task accomplished. So now you can put 50 agents in the system, and if they have a question, just relay it back into the website. The answers are right there for you. You need your anti-money laundering, here it is. You need to figure out what your national producer number is, here it is. But I'm not licensed yet. If you're recruiting non-licensed guys, here's your pre-licensing. Oh, and by the way, it's free for 30 days in every single state except for Illinois. All the pre-licensing records, here it is, all the instructions. You want to learn about credit repair? We have a credit repair division. You want to learn about e-commerce? Here's our e-commerce division. You want access to documents and resources we have. You want scripts? You want to teach your guys, you're recruiting 40, 50 guys, they want to figure out scripts. Here's the scripts. Here's the scripts, just open it up, boom, learn it. We give you resources. That's what we're about. We are your back office for you. You want to run quotes? Let me show you. This is what I did yesterday, just so you know, with a potential client. Client says to me, okay, well, I want to see what some term insurance is going to cost me, but I don't want to get a medical done. I go, okay, Miss Client, you realize that if you don't do a medical, the premiums are going to be higher. The cost of the insurance is going to be higher. She says, yeah, I know, but honestly, we're just so busy. I'd rather just get in a meet. I'd rather get a quick approval is what she said. I said, okay, no problem. Go right here to mobile quick quotes. This anybody can do. You don't need a writing number to do this. Click there, there's your Americo. Let's run some quick Americo numbers. She lived in Texas. I'm literally just screen sharing and doing this. Let's run a continuation plan, create. Right, she's 50, I don't know what her age is. 52, female, non-tobacco. Let's run some quick numbers. So I went like this. Let's do 300,000. Run the quote. Wait, term period, sorry, 30 years. Run the quote. And this client, just so you know, this would cost you $499 a month. Right? Oh man, that's a lot. Anyway, can I do a smaller amount of that? Of course. And then she says to me, literally midway through our conversation, but I also need insurance for my mom. She's 63, right? I've already done my presentation in this dry erase board. I've already done it. And so she understands the Camry, the Lexus, the Bugatti, and the Pinto, right? The Pinto's final expense. Well, what would you recommend for my mom? I go, well, if you have the budget, I would do a Lexus. If you have the budget, but that I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to run you, probably $200, $300. If you don't have the budget, then you got a Pinto you can go with. Well, can you show me what that looks like? Sure. You know what I do? I go right back here to mobile quick quotes, right? So if I want to show her a GUL, right? I can go to Anaco right here, or I can go to Mutual of Omaha right here. Look how they're both opening up right there. I'm literally in my meeting doing this with the client. I'm not having to log into the carrier or anything. No, it's all there, ready to go, quick. Here's Aniko. She's 63, right? So that means, let me see, 20, 21, minus 63, that means she's 1958. Plug in her date, 1958, where you at, 58. Right there, she was in Texas. It's female, continue. Actually, let me go back, I'm not looking at the term. So this lets you run term and GUL. I'm just gonna do GUL. Non-tobacco, let's do a small $50,000 policy. It's gonna pay it monthly, calculate. There it is, $142.17 per month. If I do it through there, if I do it through Mutual of Omaha, right? They have a G. Where's their UL? Where's their GUL? Universal Index, Universal Living Promise. Oh no, they're fully underwritten though. They got rid of their Express GUL, didn't they? Actually, no, guarantee advantage. Here it is. I could just run the numbers there, right? It's, well, how much would final expense cost me? So I go back to mobile quick quotes. Let's go to Foresters. There it is. The plan right, final expense plan. And I can run the numbers. Bottom line, what I'm trying to explain to you is this. The website is designed to be a fast access resource center for any field agent. For any field agent. I mean, look, I'm literally right now in 3 different carriers at the exact same time running different numbers. Right? This client was 63 years of age. She was female, non-tobacco. Let's do 15,000. Let's get a quote. So, Miss Client, if you decide that you want to get a $15,000 final expense, you're looking at anywhere from $58 a month to $88 a month. If you decide you want to go with the GUL for $50,000 that has living benefits, you're looking at $142 a month. Right? Now, this one might require you to get a medical exam done. If we want to go a little bit faster and get faster approval, we go to Mutual of Omaha. Mutual of Omaha's product, and you know what I mean? And like, if you notice, I'm literally just breezing through this without a problem. 63, individual, let's do 50,000. Calculate, there it is. No, that can't be right. There's no way that number's right. Guaranteed advantage. Anyhow, I'll get back to that one. But you get what I'm saying? You have everything right there. If the client says, yeah, you know what, I really want to see what that Bugatti looks like, right? Now, Bugatti, IUL, just so you guys know as a tip, the only company you can run an IUL illustration on your own without having a writing number is North American. North American. But if you learn how to sell the way I sell, you don't sell with the illustration, you sell with the concept of how things work. That's how you're selling. You're selling conceptually, okay? You're selling, you know, this is how the product works. Let me ask a question here. Who here knows how to sell the IUL conceptually without showing the actual illustration? Let me ask it a different way. Who here would want to learn how to do that? Who here would want to learn how to sell the IUL conceptually? Okay, here we go. All right, perfect, good. Let me take advantage of that. If you notice in this kind of training right now, I jumped from recruiting and went right into what a field meeting looks like. Why do I do that? Because that's important. And when you're recruiting independent agents want to feel like, yes, I have all the tools in my back office to build. I have it. That's great, right? But I also want to feel like my team is going to get trained on how to sell. Independent agents think production. You can't veer away from that piece. You can't. Let me show you one more thing, and then I'll do that conceptual sale of IUL. Here's one of the last things that I do every time when I'm recruiting independent agents. I go right here to the genealogy. There's so much power in them being able to see when you recruit and you're building, you're going to get a chance to see your organization. You're going to get a chance to see it. You're going to get a chance to be a part of it. And then you know what I do is I pick somebody that I know has a very deep leg. Like Angie Alvarez right now has a fairly deep leg. Lisa Holloway's done 6 wide. Click that 6, there they are. Then you got Puebs who went 10 wide. And you've got Vincent who went 3 wide. You got Caesar who went 6 wide. And I just start opening this up and I show them, I go, look, this person recruited this person recruited this person, right? I want them. Oh, wait, I just did something there that I shouldn't have done. I just did something there that I shouldn't have done. Rodolfo, can you go to the paperwork later on and find out who Rodolfo's upline is? I think I just accidentally deleted that person. You guys won't have access to do that, so you don't got to worry about that. I have editing privileges, which I think I shouldn't have editing privileges from what I just realized. I accidentally deleted it. You guys don't have to fear that. You'll only be able to view it. But show this in your recruiting, guys. Show this in your recruiting, okay? And sell this to the independent agent. Look, you want to see what your business is? Because in this industry, people are your business. And don't get me wrong, I can open up all of these. I mean, this turns into a crazy, ridiculous, family tree. And just so you guys know, this org chart is only licensed agents. This is only licensed agents. We've got 239 in our system that are not operating on non-disclosure agreements. We've got another about 100 that are on non-disclosures, which means they're not going to be on that report. They're just not going to be on there. But this is huge for what it is to show people, independent agents, what it is to join our organization. And the entire time I'm telling them, I go, look, test us out. You don't gotta burn that bridge over there where you're at. You don't gotta burn that bridge at all. Test us out. See what we're about. If you like what we're doing, if you like, the value we're bringing to the table, if you're getting a return on your investment, if you're getting a return, right? You know what? Why don't you then yourself decide that you want to bring more of your business over? I'm not going to have to force you to bring that business over. You're going to want to bring that business over here because over here, you're going to have the structure. You're going to have the back office support. You're going to have the carriers that you need. You're going to have advanced sales department. You want to set up group benefits, but you don't know how to do it. I got someone that'll talk to you for an hour or two on the phone, showing you how to set up a group DI plan, a group 401k plan, a group life plan, a group health plan. I have someone there. You want to do premium financing or life settlements? Life settlement cases are huge cases, especially if you're working in the final expense world. Those are huge cases. I have a specialist that'll help you with a life settlement case, help you with premium financing case, help you with infinite banking cases. So if you stumble upon these giants, these whale of opportunities, you don't feel like you got to pass it up because you don't have resources. They'll go with you to the meeting if you want, or they'll teach you how to sell it back behind the scenes, and then you can go sell it by yourself if you wish. However you want, those resources are there. So your upline, you, Mr. Jimmy Torres, who are the upline of your organization, you don't have to feel like you are the only tool to a solution to your team. You're providing them an entire back office ready to go. That's what we bring to the table. That's what TKO brings to the table. The only reason, 100%, why TKO has grown to about 330 some odd licensed agents and will close out this year at close to $2.5 million to $3 million of issue police business is because of these back office resources. It's because of that. I have not physically touched every single agent that's come through TKO. And yet I've seen agents get recruited, get contracted, get trained, and sell business. And I don't know who the heck they are. I just see it on the payroll reports. I got to give some love to the person, but I don't know who they are. I don't say that in a bad way. I say that to every one of you who just came on board, especially if you're direct to me. Like recently, we re-engaged 2 VP level and above type individuals. And I think they're on right now. I think so. At least part of their team is on right now. Okay. And I want you guys to know, word to mouth, I give you the resources where you don't have to feel like if you can't get access to me, you can't move your business forward. That's not what I wanted to do. That was never what I wanted to do. The reason why it took me such a while to build this operation is because I wanted it to be self-running without me having to have my finger on it, so that you guys don't ever feel like you have to slow down if I decided I wanted to take one day off to spend it with my kids. You're not slowed down in any way, shape, or form. Now, in the same token, I'm going to tell you this. Ask anybody. You ask a question on the group chat, chances are I'm going to answer it. And if I'm not the first to answer it, I'm definitely the second or the third. But I'm going to answer because I'm in the game. I'm not retired. I'm not clocking out. I'm engaged 100%. But I'm always going to give you the tools and resources. 90% of the times when you guys ask me for something, I always say, oh, here's where you can find it. Here's where you can find it. Why? Because I want you to know that there's places and there's tools and resources in place for you. I do this with my recruiting conversations. That's what I do. I'm about to bring on board a health insurance agency that's writing $300,000 a year in a health business. I'm about to bring them on board and add life and annuity to that platform and e-commerce to that platform because I have what they don't have and I have what they need. Simple as that. That's how I recruit in the independent space. That's how I do it. This isn't dream selling. You never thought about driving a Ferrari. No, listen, those guys, they don't want that. They know this game. They know this industry pays really well. They just want to know you have the back office sustainability where they can scale their operation. Because I've talked to a lot of independent guys, and you know what they do? They tell me, I tried to build, but I couldn't keep track of all of it, so I gave up. Went back to production. Simple as that. Went back to production. Went back to production. Went back to production. All right, good, cool. All right, let me show you how I conceptually sell when it comes to the indexed annuity. If I can, for the recording purpose, actually no, 1 second. That's what I need to do. There it is. All right, let me show you how I conceptually sell when it comes to the IUL. I do this presentation after I've done the 4 types of insurances. And you can always reference back to my YouTube channel, right? Where can you find my YouTube channel? Go to the website, TKO Financial Network. In the top right, you see a button. Click, subscribe, like it, turn on that notification, ring the ding-a-ling, do what you need to do, but follow it because I have all kinds of videos there. There's a playlist called Life Insurance where I have a bunch of videos on it. You want to learn the 4 types of insurances? It's right there. Matter of fact, there's a video that I just did that's not for the agents, it's for clients that you guys can use. Literally, it's me talking to one of your potential clients and my language is edifying you where you could say, like, if you meet a potential client and you're like, hey, you know, you're looking for insurance, but you don't know what type, why don't you watch this video and it'll give you kind of an education on the types of insurances that I have to offer the individual that's there. He's the owner of the company. He's going to give you a good education on it. And then we can talk back afterwards. And you can send them that video. You can send them that video. And it's me in a full suit and tie explaining the 4 types of insurances. And then I close it off with saying, whoever sent you this video, if there's any of these insurances that you're interested in, reach back out to that person and schedule a one-on-one so they can personalize some of these plans for you. But I use that video a lot for on my own personal sales. You guys should definitely be doing it. Anyways, here's how I conceptually sell IULs. Okay. Once I've done the 4 types of insurances and the person has said to me, I'm interested. I want to know how that Bugatti works, how that Ferrari works. Okay, well, let's dig a little deeper how it works, right? I go, look, the first thing you need to understand is how money grows. You got to understand that, right? There's 3 ways that money grows. The first is fixed, predictable. You know exactly what it's going to do. This line, you know it's not going to go higher or lower than that line. The benefit to that place is super safe. The negative to that place is that it's very low returns. When you think of safe but low returns, don't you think of a checking account or a savings account at the bank? Yeah, right? 80% of people put their money right here. Second place, you could put your money in the stock market and the market goes up and down and up and down. What happens there? You make money, you can lose money, right? People don't go there for safety. They go there because they want this. They want the win and they're willing to gamble and end up at the loss. They do that because of the rate of return. That's the reason that people go there. They want to make a lot of money. This is where 15% of America goes. 5% of America happens to be the wealth of America, and 5% of America invest into what's called index funds. The S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Dow. If you don't know what those names are, let me explain. All that is a collective group of investments, and whatever that number is for the index is the average return of all of those investments together combined. So if you were to measure the S&P 500, which is the top 500 companies of the United States, if these 500 companies go up, well, so does your money. You go up with them. But you're limited. You have a ceiling. You have a cap. You have a cap. Let me ask you a question. Let me show you how I do this. Jimmy, okay, are you still on? Possibly. I know.
Yes, I'm still on. I'm still on.
Okay. Do me a favor for this exercise, pretend you don't know nothing about insurance. You're a potential client, okay? You're gonna get a cap when the market goes up. Let me ask you a question. If that cap was 7%, would you be excited?
No.
What about 8%?
No.
10%? I mean, 10%.
Yeah, I guess.
That's
I
pretty
guess
good,
it's a
right?
little higher. Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
so
good. Yeah,
if I give you a
10%.
10% cap, you'd be excited. What if I told you that the cap is anywhere from 12 to 13%?
Wow. I'd be more excited because the bank doesn't pay anything near that.
Exactly. And just so you guys know, Jimmy said no to 7 and 8. 99% of people, when I tell them, if I cap you at 7% and you're making 7% on your money, would you be excited? You know what they say? Hell yeah. And then I go, well, what about 8? Well, what about 9? What about, listen, our cap is going to be at around 12%. Now, you think that's sexy. Here's what's really sexy. If the market crashes, everybody's losing money left and right. You know what happens to your money? You stay where you last left off. You don't lose a single penny. I can give you a protection over the principal you started with and all of your prior year's earnings. And then guess what? All you got to do is wait, because the market always recovers and comes back. And when it does, you get to come back up from where you last left off. So let me ask you a question. If your money, you're talking about your money, right? Do you want your money to go up like a staircase, or do you want to go up and down like a roller coaster?
Like a staircase.
This is where the wealth of America puts their money. You think it's because of this as well? The 0% floor and a 12% cap? That's part of the reason, but here's the other reason. Here's the biggest reason. The money in these types of strategies grows tax-free. You don't have to pay taxes in these strategies. So
Nothing?
Nothing. So if I was to put a bucket right here for you, and you could put however much money you wanted into this bucket, and you know the money in this bucket has the safety of the bank because you're going to get a 0% floor guarantee, has the potential of the market at about a 12% cap, and everything in there is growing tax-free. And by the way, if you're a business owner, it's also creditor safe. You can't be sued, garnished, or levied against the money in there. What's one question you're thinking? What's the
catch? What's the catch?
Right. What's the catch? What's the catch? That sounds too good to be true. Here's the catch, because there's no such thing as a perfect plan, Mr. Client. Everything has a good and a bad. Everything has a pro and a con. You need to understand that piece. You're dealing with a company that's a for-profit business, which means they got to make money. You got to make money. You're working with them. If they're not making money, you're not making money. And if you're making money, they're making money. Trust me, they want you to make money. But what's the catch? Here's the catch. This bucket here has a spigot. That spigot is going to pour some of that money into this other smaller bucket. This bucket here is insurance. Let's pretend for all intents and purposes it's $500,000 of insurance. Well, what kind of insurance? Auto insurance? No. Homeowners insurance? No. Life insurance. You're dealing with a life insurance retirement plan, otherwise known as a LIRP, where the wealth of America love to put their money. Why? Because when you invest with a life insurance company, the returns are tax-free. And the wealth of America knows that. When you invest into a 401k company, the returns are taxable. When you invest into a bank, the returns are taxable. When you invest into an insurance company, it's tax-free. Now, how does this all work, right? Well, if something was to happen to you and you passed away, okay, your family would get the $500,000 and the cash that's right here. They get both. You don't got to walk away from the cash. The family gets it. But if you also did, that's called a death benefit, by the way. Now, if you developed a sickness, a chronic or a critical, not just a cough or a flu, but I mean a sickness, a chronic or critical sickness, like a cancer, stroke, heart attack, ALS, burns of the body, brain trauma, organ failure of any kind, anything like that. If you need a nurse to take care of you, to dress you, to feed you, anything like that, do you know, number one, you're not working, which means your number one asset, your ability to earn income, is now shot. You're not doing that. But number two, you don't have to tap into this money. You could tap into this money and leave this money for what it was originally intended for, which is your savings. You could tap into this. tax-free. Let me repeat it again, tax-free. A lot of people, when they think of life insurance, they think death. This is not that. This is what the Wealth of America does, because the Wealth of America says, if I die too soon, I want this death benefit to leave a legacy to my family. If I get sick along the way, I want this money. I want access to this money for me, not for my family, for me to pay the bills and pay the medical expenses and replace my income. And if I live a long, glorious life, I want to be able to have this money tax-free when I retire, whether in lump sum or if I want to generate a lifetime income for the rest of my life. The catch is this. Most people think short term. And this is not short term. I'm going to look at you in the face right now and tell you, if you treat this like a short-term vehicle, you're going to get back less than what you put in. And I'll tell you why. The money you're putting in here, although some of that money is going in here, if you get out short-term, you get back what's left in here. You'll never get back what's in here. You'll never get back what's in here, because this right here is giving you this coverage, this peace of mind. And if you don't give this money enough time to earn this interest rate, to recuperate what you spent in here, you're going to get back less than what you put in. And when I say, long term, I mean at least 10 years. Now, 10 years, you'll get back your money. You'll get back 100% of the money that you put in, and everything from that period forward is 100% profits, completely tax-free. 20 years, I'll double your money. 30 years, I'll triple or quadruple your money. 40 years, listen, I'm talking 5 to 7x in your money. Do you have anybody right now in your family that is 40 years away from retirement, like a child? Oh, yeah, I do. I have a 10-year-old little girl. You know what this would do for your daughter? You know what 10 plus 50 is 60? You know what 50 years of compounding interest is on $100 a month into something like this for your daughter? She'll be a millionaire by the time she gets 60. And you, Miss Client, you're in your 30s and 40s. Listen, you can put in a lot more money than $100, and you could give yourself 25, 30 years of compounding return out of this, not easily 3 to 4x your money, tax free. The one thing you can't control, which is how much money Uncle Sam wants to dip into, is the one thing you don't got to worry about when you hit retirement. And you can tap into this pre-retirement without penalties. So what would you like to do next? Does this make sense? Does that, right? This product, just so you know, it's kind of corny, but it makes sense, right? This product gives you a lot of what I call perks. Protection, that's your insurance. Death and living. Access to money in the event of an emergency, that's your living benefit. So here's your death benefit, here's your living benefit. Access to the money for multiple reasons. Maybe it's retirement. Maybe it's college planning for your kids. And maybe it's just savings for whatever you need. Whatever, maybe just savings for whatever. At the end of the day, it gives you all these perks. You just got to qualify. You got to have the health to qualify for the insurance, and you have to be thinking like a long-term thinker. Long-term thinkers think with their last name. Short-term thinkers think with their first name. What are you trying to accomplish, Mr. Client? That's my present. I mean, that's what I did. Ask Baleen. This is exactly what I did yesterday. I didn't show an illustration. I didn't even talk about a company. I didn't even bring up a company. I just talked conceptually how this works. She called this the Bugatti. So you know what she said afterwards? Well, man, I want to do that. That gives me my insurance, my savings, my protection. That gives me air. How much can I put is what she said. I go, listen, I design these plans based on the dollar amounts that you're going to put. I can't design a plan without you giving me a dollar amount, because if you give me a dollar amount and the insurance is too big, it eats up your money. If the insurance is too small, you're not going to be able to put all the money you want. So you got to give me your number monthly that you want to put into this, that you can say to yourself, long-term, I can do this no matter what. You can count on this number, and I'll design this plan to fit that. And if the insurance doesn't happen to be enough based on the dollar amount that you're putting, we can supplement with a Camry. You get what I'm saying? That's how I sell. It's all conceptual. So now I've yet again ask Bailyn. She's bear witness to this, because she just saw this yesterday. I didn't show an illustration. I didn't show a company. And yet the client has now said this to me. Give me 2 days, talk to my husband. I'm going to tell you exactly what number we want to do. I want to do one for me, one for my husband. I want to do one for my kids. I want to do one for my grandbabies. And she was adding it up. It's like 8 policies. All I'm waiting for her to give me now is the monthly amounts that she wants to do towards each one of them. And she knows she has to qualify. I always leave them with the mindset, you have to qualify. This isn't just given to you. Qualification is going to take 4 to 6 weeks. My team has to go to work for you to get this. If we get this for you, listen, you're part of the elite, but you got to qualify. This isn't something where they're dying for your business. No, you got to qualify for this. I got to get them in that mindset where I bring value to them, not the other way around. So that when I call or my team calls, they're like, oh, let me answer. Because, you know, I like think about someone who wants to buy a house. When someone wants to buy a house, they know they got to qualify for the mortgage. When the mortgage lender calls, they answer. Well, what do you need? What can I get for you? You need my taxes, you need my this, you need me to sign something? What do you want? I got to get them in that mindset when they submit this application. They need me, not the other way around. If you don't get that kind of edification in your meeting, you're shooting yourself in the foot. All of a sudden now you're chasing people left and right for premiums because they don't value who you are. They don't value what you bring to the table. Guys, what we do matters. What we do matters. You live in this industry to see one of these things come to fruition. And I promise you, one of the 3 benefits is going to happen. You're going to be a part of that. Person's either going to pass away, you got to get money. You'll be able to write that check to their family and shake the hands of their beneficiaries. Person gets sick, you're going to be able to go see them in the hospital and say, hey, listen, you're covered. I got your living benefits in play. Person gets to retirement, you're going to say, hey, listen, welcome to retirement. I got your back. But what we do matters. Don't underscore yourself. Don't shortchange the value you bring to the table. And I'm not saying that because I'm arrogant. I'm not saying that because I want people to bow down to me. No, I value my clients. I do, and I respect them dearly. But damn it, you're going to respect me and who I am because I bring something to the table. I'm not just a regular Joe Schmo insurance agent from State Farm. Like, that's not who I am. That's not who I am. I'm going to be here through the grind for you. What do you want to do next? That's my language. That's my language. Any questions? Let me take a look here real quick, see if there's any Q&A.
Tony, I have a question.
Yes.
In this, with COVID and everything, how does that filter in as far as if I have a 30-year-old who wants the Bugatti, but they've just gotten over COVID or, you know, and then you have to go through the qualifications. How does that affect everything now?
Yeah, good question, by the way. If you would have asked me that question a year ago, I would have told you all companies have placed some very strict rules right now, and they're limiting how much of these types of plans people can get because COVID. But thankfully, I think it was about a month and a half, 2 months ago, all the companies made a decision to go back to their old school underwriting requirements, which means that as long as the person doesn't have COVID, and as long as it's been past, I want to say 60 days since they've had it, everything is fine. As long as they don't have, as long as they're not dealing with pre-existing conditions, they're not dealing with issues still currently. So, for example, with your case, Bailey, you had COVID, you don't any longer, but you're still recovering, your lungs are still recovering. You right now would not be a good candidate for this type of product. But from an underwriting standpoint, they probably would decline you. However, let's say somebody, had it 2 months ago and now they're 100% fine, no problem. No, the insurance companies don't even blink. They're like, good, no problem, we got you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Anybody have any other questions? I know we went on a little bit longer, and I apologize. And I apologize that my client wasn't able to hop on, but hopefully I was able to kind of pivot and give you guys some value. If there's no other questions, I'm going to hop off. Hopefully this training brought the kind of value that you guys are looking for. And I look forward to seeing you guys go out there and kill it and, get into this space. This space right here, guys, this is gold right here. And I don't say this space like just this product. I'm talking about when you can have $1.5 million of term insurance underwritten, when you can do $500,000 of GUL insurance underwritten, and you're not just focused on the simplified quick turnaround product. you'll start to see that your cases, although they take a little bit longer to get approved, okay, you'll start to see that your one case is not 1,500 in annual premium, but your one case is now 6,500, 7,500 in annual premium. And it validates the time that it takes to approve it, because that client will stay with you long-term if they make those types of commitments. That's not a client you got to worry about losing. And that client will give you referrals, and that client will introduce you to their markets. I promise you, you'll get in a whole different world of training at that point. Cool. Have a good one. Be blessed. On for a little bit longer in case there's any other questions, but you guys are free to hop off.